Hare Krishna. So we are starting our study session of Gopāla Campu, Uttara Campu, chapter 2, Cruelty of Akrura. At dawn, the next day, the narration began in the assembly in the presence of the people of Raja. Madhukanta said, on the dawn of the day of killing Keshi, Krishna for a moment with restless eyes began thinking, this dream which I dragged Kamsa from the stage was like actually seeing the event. It will happen soon. Today, Keshi intent on killing me will be killed. Kamsa will be killed after that. And for that purpose, I will go to Mathura. It's time that I go there. It's understood that out of fear, he will not come here. Without the killing of Kamsa, who constantly afflicts the Vrishnis, now, and has sent rascals to kill me, my parents in Mathura and Raja will be filled with fear. Again, he thought, if I delay in doing this, I think it will not be auspicious for the lives of my mother and father. If I leave them and go, I will become insane due to the disturbance by my internal wind, like moon pushed by the zodiac movements, cloud pushed by the wind, and sun pushed by the zodiac movements. I am the moon for the chakora eyes of my mothers, who derives nectar from my face. I am the cloud for the chataka eyes of my father, who subsists on me, and I am the sun for the people of Gokula, who blossom like lotuses. While Krishna was lamenting for a long time, Keshi approached. The previous Campu was completed with the description of Keshi's death. Protected by Yashoda and increasing his fame on the pretext of herding cows, Krishna met Narada in private. Narada consoled Krishna, full of doubt and regret, by relating to him his previous and future pastimes while considering all the implications. The protector of all auspiciousness then dispatched Narada and returned to Vraja with the cows, still disturbed, but playing with his friends with a happy face. The Devatas worshipped him with garlands made of heavenly flowers. A crowd of Brahmanas praised him with Vedic verses. He faced the cows and cowherd boys, calling them by their names. He gave happiness to all by the effulgence of his body. The Devatas spoke. By the appearance of the moon, the night lotuses immediately blossoms. The ocean becomes agitated and the chakora birds drink its beauty from afar. Look, the cowards seeing Krishna attain those conditions unlimitedly with bliss, but also run to him with all their strength because of their desire. When he returned home after killing Keshi, his body appeared differently to each person. He was a form of strength to the cowards like Dhamma that he doted on. He was the essence of the heart to the cowards who served him, such as Sridhama. He was a life air shining in the heart of his parents. He was the Atma of the gopis. After killing Keshi, when he came amongst the people of Raja, who were clamoring blissfully, his mother touched all parts of his body with her hands, and Nanda shed tears. All others' hair stood on end. The other symptoms cannot be described in words. In the morning, his parents made him rest for a few moments, caring for him without observing him in detail because of their confusion caused by the incomparable danger. They embraced him as no others could, put him in the house, smothered him with affection, bathed him, dressed him attractively, and applied ointments on him. Because they thought his body was soft, they considered that at the time of fighting demons, he had become endowed with Narayana's power temporarily. It's time for milking the cows. Gopāla, protector of all happiness, along with Balarama, called the group of servants holding the implements and went to a place to face the cows. On arriving there, his black limbs shone along with Balarama. The cows immediately surrounded him. While their mooing drowned out all other sounds. Along with Balarama, affectionate Krishna, at calves meet the cows, who were flowing abundantly with milk even without their calves. As previously, Krishna finished all his course, though his mind was disturbed by Narada's words. By desiring to return to Vraja after leaving, he became steady. Many thoughts came in his mind. I will go off to kill Kamsa, but the love for my parents is the greatest obstacle. But Narada's words are also not untruthful. How will I tolerate the grief of separation in Vraja? Though I can conclude in this way, what is the use of these bad thoughts full of sorrow? But it's necessary to remember the great happiness of meeting again in Vraja. While thinking in this way, he saw some chariot, for whatever it is reflected of great souls becomes reality. Seeing the person riding on the chariot, he began to think, if he is without weapons, he must be a messenger. Many people began to wonder why this person had come from Kamsa. The sun coloring the west red, falling low and heating the ocean water, hid him and the world in darkness. The sun would certainly rise after 4 praharas, but Krishna with Balarama destroyed the darkness by spreading their effulgence. Though not able to recognize Akrura from a distance, Krishna and Balarama knew him. When the cowards went to see the chariot and all the cows pricked up their ears, Krishna and Balarama desired to see the chariot also. They went because it stated that the eye alone gives knowledge of the form. According to the realization of great souls, the power of sight then attracts the ears. They wanted to question him. The two had such beauty that on seeing them, the sapphire and the moon desired their beauty. But let that be. When Akrura from far away saw just their footprints, attractive as painted pictures, he became completely bewildered. Akrura began to describe their beauty. Krishna is the avatar of the presiding deity of the wealth of all black luster. Balarama is the full essence of perfect beauty of pure whiteness. Krishna is beautiful with cloth the color of Parvati. Balarama spreads remarkable beauty with his pleasing dark blue cloth mixed with gold like Krishna's cloth. The beauty of Krishna's face spreads bliss by conquering a blue lotus. The beauty of Balarama's face defeats the white lotus. The beauty of Balarama's face defeats the white lotus. The beauty of Krishna's eyes defeats the attractive Kanjana bird. The tips of Balarama's eyes defeat piles of red lotuses. Krishna's cheeks are illuminated by the joyful light from the Makara heads on his earrings. Balarama continually shines with the rays from his own earring. Krishna's nose is like an arrow made of a sesame flower placed between his bow-like brows. Balarama occupies the heart of shining Cupid, having conquered him with his beauty similar to Krishna's. Attractive with sparkling jewels on his snake-like arms, shining like sapphires. Balarama is attractive with arms superior to ruby pillars. Krishna's chest increases in beauty by the golden line on his chest made of blue testing stone. Balarama's chest conquers the beauty of a jewel mine on Mount Kailasha. Balarama's chest conquers the beauty of a jewel mine on Mount Kailasha. Krishna has a variety of treasures increased by the praise of poets, including the beauty of his lips among his various limbs. Balarama's constant beauty, similar to Krishna's, is also praised by poets. Krishna walks by his feet, which surpasses lotuses to show the excellence of the royal palace. Balarama moves his fear-inspiring feet to assist Krishna's feet. Krishna plays marvelously with his hands, black and tender as creepers. Balarama uses a branch as a bat to hit a ball. Krishna in modesty hides his beauty with the cloth covering his body. Balarama, similar to Krishna, watches for the time when they should return to Braja. Akrura saw Balarama and Krishna as two young elephants among the calves. One had blue cloth and the other had yellow cloth like lightning. Krishna had earrings and Balarama had an ornament in his left ear. One was named Balarama, giving happiness to Rohini, who came in a great dynasty. The other was excellent in giving happiness to the most splendid cows. They were both attracted to playing with the cows. They exerted power as cowards, rejecting birth in other families. Balarama and Krishna, wearing blue and gold cloth with horn and flute as on their waist, and silk ropes and sticks in their hands, attracted Akrura's minds. As soon as he saw the two boys, which made his journey successful, he jumped down from his chariot, while his hair stood on end like spikes and he shook to the extreme. He spread his limbs on the ground to offer respects. He spread his limbs on the ground to offer respects. He offered respects 3, 6, and 12 times, even though he was their uncle, since he was completely bewildered. He did this because one should honor or ignore by understanding the person's power. Otherwise, one will think in terms of one's own identity. When Akrura offered unlimited respects, after instructing his friends to gather the remaining cows and take them home for milking, Krishna, firm as a lion, with great mercy, approached along with Balarama and raised Akrura up with his two spread arms. Akrura, with choked voice, could not even utter his name. When all the coward boys were introduced to Akrura, the two boys, pained by Akrura's confusion, forgot to treat him as an uncle and respected him by embracing him. Taking his hands in theirs, they led him to their house. Krishna, acting properly, put Balarama in front. After welcoming him as the first part of treatment of a guest, Krishna, along with Balarama, fed him delicious food. After the meal, Krishna happily offered him spices to purify his mouth. They then had him meet Nanda. Meeting respectful Akrura, Nanda remembered the suffering and praising Akrura's qualities, removed all that suffering by his blessings. Though Akrura and Vasudeva were gentle, on remembering the cruelty of Kamsa, my mind becomes disturbed and even now burns to ashes. Nanda prepared a room for him to rest in. Seating Akrura, Nanda worshipped and satisfied him. When Krishna and Balarama had finished the meal made by their mothers, they met Akrura privately. On seeing Akrura, Krishna awakened his desire to kill Kamsa and questioned Akrura on this topic. The sweetness of those skillful questions yields all happiness. Oh, gentle uncle, did you come comfortably? How can you be happy in Mathura when Kamsa has not been killed for so long? How are my mother and father living? What is the purpose of your auspicious coming? Akrura said, you must have heard of Kamsa's oppression of the Yadu warriors. Starting from the day after the marriage of Devaki, he remains obsessed with hearing your name. Other relatives and I remain in Mathura like pillars of durva grass on the path. Vasudeva's brother Devabhaga has a son named Uddhava, who is most pure. In separation from you, he suffers from madness. Krishna said, this I know. Now, however, describe this in detail. Looking in all directions, Akrura then spoke in a quiet voice. Narada bestows the best victory to people like you and gives liberation to persons like Kamsa. In order to create enthusiasm to fight between you and fearful Kamsa, he hinted that you two, as Devaki's 7th and 8th child, would be dangerous. He hinted that you two, as Devaki's 7th and 8th child, would be dangerous. Devaki's child was placed in Rohini by Yoga Maya. Knowing that Maya had been born to Yashoda, Vasudeva placed you in Yashoda's lap and made Maya appear to be Devaki's son. Krishna said, "This is astonishing to me." Akrura said, "Hearing this from the mouth of Vasudeva, I make my ears successful." Looking as if surprised, Krishna then thought to himself, "Yes, yes, though I have no lapse of knowledge, this did not come to my awareness because of my affection for the people of Vraja. But now it manifests like a forgotten dream for a certain purpose. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva." SB 10, 8, 15, 14. Garga spoke these conclusive words to my father, the protector of Raja, but all the people of Raja do not know this. This is because Yogamaya dwelled in the womb of Yashoda, and with Yogamaya I appeared with 2 arms in the lotus of her heart. I also arose from the heart to Devaki with 4 arms. Later, Devaki prayed that I cover those 4 arms. I appeared with 2 arms so that no one would know about that form. It was thus understood that I was born from Yashoda with 2 arms. Let that be. Vasudeva is my uncle since I'm born from Nanda's family with 2 arms. But Vasudeva is my father. But Vasudeva is my father, as I was born from him with 4 arms. Thus I will deliver Vasudeva and Devaki. Thus I will deliver Vasudeva and Devaki. Krishna then spoke aloud. Then what happened? Akrura said, Kamsa wanted to kill Vasudeva, but Narada with comforting words. And after bewildering him left, unrestrained, Kamsa then bound your mother and father in iron chains. Unrestrained, Kamsa then bound your mother and father in iron chains. The 2 brothers listened with tears in their eyes. The 2 brothers listened with tears in their eyes. Did you come to give us news of our parents? The 2 brothers listened with tears in their eyes. Did you come to give us news of our parents? Akrura said in shame, no, no, but they must endure the torture inflicted by Kamsa. I am telling you something you have not heard. You two were born as their sons, and this is quite fitting. You two were born as their sons, and this is quite fitting. For what son would not desire to rid his parents of suffering? Krishna, hiding the agitation in his heart, said with disregard, what did Kamsa say? Akrura said, there are some praiseworthy items in his speech. Akrura said, there are some praiseworthy items in his speech. Please hear what he said. He has sent me to invite you too. Akrura said, there are some praiseworthy items in his speech. Please hear what he said. He has sent me to invite you too. Surrounded by your relatives like other citizens to see the festival involving Shiva's bow along with his assembly. Balarama said with a smile, the mad elephants bellow when the lion's hunger increases. Krishna said, let that be. We will meet Kamsa and satisfy Shiva by making offerings. When will this festival for Shiva take place? Akrura said on the 14th lunar day. Krishna then asked the remaining details. I consider the most auspicious for us since I consider this most auspicious for us since we will see our parents. Saying this and then leaving Akrura, Krishna with Balarama got up and went to Nanda. Sitting with his permission, folding his hands, Krishna spoke while Nanda gazed at his face. Oh, father, there's some good news, but everyone should hear it at the same time. Slow to act because of doubt, Nanda called Upananda and others as if cheerful. Slow to act because of doubt, Nanda called Upananda and others as if cheerful. Slow to act because of doubt, Nanda called Upananda and others as if cheerful. The women headed by Yashoda were present behind a screen. When the distinguished persons were seated, Krishna spoke with a slight smile. A pleasant order from Kamsa has come for us. As the citizens, you, most excellent, with elders and children, should go to the festival of the bow on this occasion. Krishna and Balram are eager to see this Kamsa because of his prowess. Nanda said, did you consider if Balarama born from Vasudeva would be pleasing to Kamsa? Krishna said with a smile, if he is not pleased with Balarama, his desires will be unfulfilled. Since who can harm me, endowed with your great strength? Nanda said, did you consider Balarama born from Vasudeva would be pleasing to Kamsa? Krishna said with a smile, Krishna said with a smile, if he's not pleased with Balarama, his desires will be unfulfilled. Since who can harm me, endowed with your great strength? When I was an infant with very little strength, I killed Putana and other demons. What to speak of our strength now that we are strong? Easily we kill demons like Bakra. When I was an infant with very little strength, I killed Putana and other demons. What to speak of our strength now that we are strong? Easily we kill demons like Baka and Vatsasura. What to speak of our strength now that we are very strong? Easily we kill demons like Baka and Vatsasura. Baka swallowed me and no one else. Aga swallowed the calves and boys. Indra caused disturbance to all by rain. Who is Kamsa compared to them? Hearing this and speaking to each other, they all lost awareness and the women's senses stopped functioning. He then spoke again. Since we are happy with millions of cows, we do not need to go anywhere else. But if we do not obey the king's order, then he will come and create fear here. But if we do not obey the king's order, then he will come and create fear here. What to speak of being proper? If we go without hesitation, Kamsa will be pure, peaceful. Hearing this and speaking to each other, they all lost awareness and the women's senses stopped functioning. He then spoke again. Since we are happy with millions of cows, we do not need to go anywhere else. But if we do not obey the king's order, then he will come and create fear here. What to speak of being proper? If we go without hesitation, Kamsa will be peaceful. Hearing this, Nanda spoke to Upananda. Hearing this, Nanda spoke to Upananda, who had turned pale. What should we do? Upananda said, your child had correctly said that we should go there. If we do not go, Kamsa's anger and our fear will increase. But if we go, there will be no anger or fear. Remarkable fate protected us previously. It will deliver us from the present calamities. When the cowards were considering in this way, powerful Purnamasi suddenly appeared. When the cowards were considering in this way, powerful Purnamasi suddenly appeared. When asked by Nanda, she said with affection, "Your going to Mathura will bring bliss to all. Kamsa and all his cruel cohorts will be destroyed. But I see that Krishna's return will be delayed. Therefore, decide what should be done." Upananda said, "If the enemies are killed, then returning without delay is best. If the enemies are killed, then returning without delay is best. It seems best to go." Not seeing any alternative, they all agreed with this. It seems best to go. Not seeing any alternative, they all agreed with this. Without any trace of sorrow, seeing the face of Krishna, he then asked, "When should we go there?" Without any trace of sorrow, seeing the face of Krishna, he then asked, "When should we go there?" Krishna said, "I think that we should go on the morning of our day. He will celebrate the festival on the 14th day." When they observed that Nanda behaved as if he had sorrow within, all the people. When they observed that Nanda behaved as if he had sorrow within, all the people said, "Let there be an announcement immediately in Braja so that the cowards can gather at Nanda's residence with all the gifts." Nanda then said to the assembly, "By the consent of Purnamasi and you, everything will be auspicious." Nanda then said to the assembly, "By the consent of Purnamasi and you, everything will be auspicious." The cowards who can be given orders should be instructed to bring gifts. The cowards who can be given orders should be instructed to bring gifts. The Lord of Vrindavana, gaining permission in this way, then gave the orders to his followers. Say this to the gatekeepers in a loud voice. Yashoda, on understanding this, lost consciousness and could not speak. Madhukanta, on saying this, also could not speak. When Nanda and the assembly who had gathered for the recitation also fainted, like Yashoda, Krishna took Nanda's lotus feet and spoke to revive him. Yashoda, on understanding this, lost consciousness and could not speak. Madhukanta, on saying this, also could not speak. When Nanda and the assembly who had gathered also fainted like Yashoda, Krishna took Nanda's lotus feet and spoke to revive him. "Oh Father, why are you grieving? As previously, this is simply a recitation. I will kill Kamsa while joyfully thinking of you and return after some time and be visible to you." With hair standing on end, Nanda put Krishna on his lap and Nanda's lotus feet and spoke to revive him. "Oh Father, why are you grieving? As previously, this is simply a recitation. I will kill Kamsa while joyfully thinking of you and return after some time and be visible to you." With hair standing on end, Nanda put Krishna on his lap and all fell deep sleep. With hair standing on end, Nanda put Krishna on his lap and all felt deep bliss. When all was peaceful, Madhukanta spoke, "O Yashoda, let your child play here or in any place. Look, merciful to his devotees, he is controlled by you." In the evening assembly, when Krishna appeared in Radha's company, Madhukanta with choked voice spoke, "O Radha, now tormented by separation from Madhava, listen to the previous news." When Krishna went to Mathura, the announcement was like a thunderbolt in Braja. Some gopis were injured by it, and Radha and others almost died. The faces of some gopis withered from the announcement like sparks from a fire. Some gopis' limbs became wasted. Their hair and ornaments fell off, and they became senseless. Some lost consciousness. Who can describe them? Suffering as they did with their hearts, who can describe them with indifference? They become either stunned by the description of or are simply dull-witted. The announcement made the gopis faint in the evening, and it revived them in the morning. For a body afflicted with burns, fire is a cure, and for a body infected with poison, poison is the best medicine. In consciousness and became anxious about Krishna Kamsa, when the gopis regained consciousness and became anxious about Kamsa, which then caused fear, when the gopis regained consciousness and became anxious about Kamsa, which then caused fear, another item appeared in their consciousness, produced by the devatas of perfection, produced by the devatas for protection, which was activated by the powers of Krishna and confirmed previously by Paurnamasi. There was not a trace of doubt. Krishna would destroy Agha, Kalya, Keshi, and Arishta, would also kill Kamsa. Having that faith, they thought when the Gop having that faith, they thought about what the world had approved. When Krishna succeeds in killing Kamsa, we fear that our interest will all. When he resides in Mathura, how can we reside? How can he reside in Braja? All of us daughters of cowards or village girls. In Mathura, there are many princesses. He will be attracted to their qualities. How will he remember us in his heart? When he goes to the forest, one moment becomes like a kalpa. If he goes to Mathura, only our minds will know the difficulties we will undergo and no one else. If he's going to Mathura to gain a kingdom, how will we be able to remain peaceful? Our type of raga is not attractive to him. His kingdom does not give us happiness, but our anuraga constantly desires to serve this beloved in a solitary place. As the fish fears a separation from water, the soul fears separation from the nectar of seeing him when he leaves. Even before going, our souls dried up can recognize what is best. We will recognize nothing at all. His face is attractive with a sweet smile. His face is attractive with a sweet smile. The tips of his eyes playful. His clever words give joy to the heart. He's filled with pastimes. Having directly seen all of this, one cannot make any comparisons. If the disturbed mind can tolerate the pain of separation, it can take poison to be nectar. Afflicted with these thoughts, the gopis gave up fear of criticism and approached Krishna as he prepared to go to Mathura. The description of the journey will be told in the next morning session. Saying this, Madhukanta saw that Krishna had become stunned with unconsciousness and Radha had fainted. He quickly spoke, "Oh Radha, this is a previous story. It's not happening now. Look, seeing your faded face, Krishna has also faded in complexion. Just as food should be served when people are hungry and then they become happy, so the two reciters, after serving the tasty topics and making all happy, went to their residence. Radha and Krishna went to their house of enchantment." Hare Krishna. Continue the next chapter later. I would like to conclude now. Hare Krishna.